Coach Jack Daniels of the Boxers Training Channel. And look, I've been missing in action for a couple of days. I went up to um, Shreveport, Louisiana, to the boardwalk, right, with the wife. It was her birthday, and we went to Shreveport on an excursion for her birthday, right? We was gone for 2 days, so I was missing. But let me say this. I think, in all fairness to what I represent insofar as the boxing game is concerned, I think I need to kind of like regenerate myself when it comes to making myself available more with my work, right? In the sense that once a day is good, but I think two would be better, right? Coming on maybe twice a day instead of once a day. I need to get more involved, more motivated when it comes to boxing because look, let me say this. It's a lot of stuff out there that we have absolutely no clue about when it comes to boxers, prospects, right, and who they fought. We don't get that information. You know what I mean? And sometimes, as is the case with this podcast, I stumbled on a prospect, right, that can seriously box. I mean, this cat can box, and he's the type that really wants all the smoke. See, that's the difference between the old school boxing and this new booty stuff that we see today, right? They have a lot of things going on with these new booties, right? That are, to me, are kind of like disrespectful, right? I mean, they make a astronomical amount of money, you know what I mean? And for those that are considered the higher echelon of boxing, right? Look, we should be in a position to want to see them more, right? We want to see them more, not in a position. No, we want to see them more, right? And, and boxers like Shakur Stevenson, right? Who, let me make this comment because this is what he said, right? Who believes or would have you and us to believe that he's one of the best boxers in the world? Now, I will go as far as to say this. Shakur can box, right? But whether he rises to the occasion of being one of the best in the boxing game, I can't say that, right? Because factually speaking, Shakur really hasn't fought that caliber of boxers with an S, right? That will suggest or imply that he's one of the best. You know, so my thing is this. My thing is to make it appear whether he is or whether he isn't one of the best in the world, right? And at this juncture, it's safe to say that he's not. He's not. Shakur Stevenson, in my opinion, is not one of the best boxers in the world. He's not. Okay, so the narrative that the promoters float, right? That people that are dear to him float, right? That Shakur is this and Shakur is that. That's not so. It could appear to those that don't have the natural eye, you know, when it comes to boxing, to be able to see whether that person has it or not. And I do. I have that eye, right? I just don't feel comfortable in saying that Shakur Stevenson is one of the best boxers in the world. He's not. So, an incident came up a couple of days ago, right? I was, like I said, I was in Louisiana. I was doing some research, right, on Shakur Stevenson, and particularly, I ran across an incident that Shakur had with Ernesto Tito Mercado, right? Mercado is 140 pounder, right? And he had just whooped um, Antonio Moran, right? This was at the 140 pound in the 140 pound division, right? He had just whooped Antonio Moran for the WBO International belt, right? So he just picked up a belt, and lo and behold, and I think, in my opinion, I believe that Eddie Hearns had something to do with it. I think that the way this came about, that Eddie Hearns set Shakur up for this embarrassing moment. To me, it was kind of like embarrassing to Shakur because he had no knowledge that this was going to happen. Right? I got a clip on. I'm gonna play it. Right? But let me do the due diligence first. Right? So after Ernesto Tito Mercado, right, knocked out Moran, Shakur was sitting in the audience, right, watching the fight. Who? But Eddie Hearn is sitting next to him. You know, Eddie Hearn got this shit shitting grin on, especially when he could really do something that the person that's with him might not be aware of, right? He's got this grin, right? I call it a shit-eating grin because that's what it appears to me, right? So Eddie's sitting next to Shakur, and Mercado said, "Yeah, that guy right there." He's pointing to Shakur Stevenson, right? That guy right there, right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I want him next, right? And hey, look, I'm serious. I'm gonna do the playback in a minute. Shakur goes bunkers, right? I mean, he went crazy on Mercado, right? And I mean, it was done like in an unexpected moment for Shakur. So he reacted in like, "Who are you? I don't know you. You don't know me. What you call knock me out for? Oh, that's camp." That type of thing, right? But no, but Mercado, I had did the research on Mercado. Mercado ain't playing, man. This kid is a prospect. He's 18 and old, right? He's 24 years of age, 5'10", with a 66.2-inch arm reach. He's a right-hander. 18 wins, 17 by knockout. No losses, never been stopped, no draws, right? And currently, again, he is the WBO International champion, right? He had, like I said, he had just scrapped with Antonio Morel and knocked him out. And that's when he came at Shakur. But I'm just saying, the point I'm really trying to make to y'all is this. There is a lot of capping in the industry, right, when it comes to boxing, right? A lot of capping, right? Shakur, right, I mean, is on this tour, right? This media tour, right? After he had that fight with Teofimo Lopez, right? He ain't talking about no boxing. All he talking about is being the greatest and what he'll do to so and so and so and so, right? But he's not talking about boxing and who he wants in the ring next. You know what I mean? See, that type of stuff, listen to me, and look at the expression on my face when I say it. That type of stuff annoys the hell out of me, right? Because if you're great as you say you are, right, that comes with wanting all the smoke, right? And the deal is, listen to me, Shakur Stevenson doesn't appear to want all the smoke. When it comes to those type of fighters, those type of boxers, right, that actually really want all the smoke, and I can name a few, but I'm going to come on later and make mention of them, right, because there's a lot of stuff to me today, and once I start thinking about all the nonsense that goes on in boxing, right, as I've been doing for the last 2 days on this little short trach, right, I just get really annoyed and frustrated and, you know what I'm saying, take to the airwaves with it, right, and that's what it's about with me. You know what I mean? It's about making y'all understand, right, that boxing is not what it used to be. You know what I mean? I'm going to say it again. Boxing is not what it used to be. Boxing used to be a sport that everybody clamored to, right? I mean, there was no such thing as a person that just was in looking at the sport just to be the sport. No. People gravitated toward the sport because they wanted to know about the sport, right? But today, I mean, it's not like that, right? Because you got people like Shakur Stevenson, right? You know, Teofimo Lopez was one of those, and you know what I mean. Teofimo Lopez was one of those cats like Shakur Stevenson, right? That would pick and choose who he would fight and who he wouldn't fight, right? I mean, same thing with Shakur, right? That he picks and chooses they would never, and I believe this today, that Shakur Stevenson will never fight Devin Haney. Not going to happen. Same thing with Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo Lopez was as scared as Devin Haney is a possum is an axon. You might see that fight today because Teofimo Lopez is not in a position where he can pick and choose who he fights if he wants that big purse, right? And I don't know about the damage that has been created by the loss to Shakur Stevenson, how his brand is looking. You know what I mean? We are not hearing old school Teofimo Lopez talking about the takeover. I'm making a point here, right? I slipped off from Shakur Stevenson, right, to make the point about these cats are funny. You know what I mean? When it comes to the smoke, right? We paying to see the smoke, right? We paying for you to not go on media tours and talk about things that are unimportant to the person, the people that really want to see you getting in the ring with those that want to smoke. I mean, there's a lot of cats out there, young prospects too, they want all the smoke, right? But look, Shakur Stevenson, y'all's favorite cap man. Yeah, that's what he is, the cap man. I said it. Shakur Stevenson is a cap man, right? He won't talk about those young prospects. He won't take the challenge from any of those young prospects like Ernesto Tito Mercado, right? And it's a couple of them that come to mind when it comes to wanting all the smoke that Shakur Stevenson literally ducks. Jadir Herrera is another, right? Called him out, called Shakur out, right? He says nothing. You know what I mean? Shakur's favorite thing is that, who is he? I don't know him. Well, I mean, what did he did? What did he did? Don't ask what he done. Get in the ring and oblige you. He wants all the smoke. You say you the greatest, right? Prove it. Prove it. Let me pull this up for you, you guys, man. What the greatest has to say about Ernesto Tito.
Boxing has turned very lame, so now it's like a lot of lame shit. It's a lot of clout. Like how you just said it. What's the guy name?
Tito Mercado.
You just calling my name out there. Get views.
I'm gonna go there, knock out this Muir thing, and tell them how I'm gonna call up the names I've been wanting. You know, Shakur, I'm sure you're around here somewhere. Now I'll see this chipmunk head ass somewhere around here. Shut your mouth, got no chin. I guess Shakur, like you just on my hit list. Once I get the belt, Keyshawn wanna come up, I'll whoop his ass. Shakur wanna come up, I'll whoop his ass. He ain't fighting no fights, he fighting a kid. His name literally the kid, man, he ain't shit. Tell him, give me that.
That's Shakur. Hey, you guys better get informed, man. This stuff is really, really hilarious. I'm gonna play one more for you guys. Look at Eddie Hearn. And Shakur is telling Avocado to get off his right? For calling him out, right? That's what Shakur's response is. Instead of Shakur saying, man, get Eddie, you know what I'm saying? That's Eddie right there. You know what I'm saying? Have Eddie send the contract, right? We can do that. You know what I'm saying? You calling me out in front of the world? You think you could whoop me? Shakur Stevenson? I'm one of the best in the world. You think you calling me out? That is the type of energy that I want to see. I don't know about y'all, but if you ain't pushing that type of energy, Man, I don't want to hear that about you. You know what I'm saying? You got to demonstrate to the fullest that you're capable of representing that you're the best of the world. And the only way that you're going to represent being the best of the world is due to Devin Haney. Do the Devin Haney. Man, do the Devin Haney, Shakur. You know what I'm saying? Do you know what I mean by that? Y'all know what I mean by that? Do the Devin Haney, right? Do the Devin Haney is taking on any challenge that calls out his name, right? Devin Haney, Devin the Dream Haney says, I'll fight anybody, man. You know what I'm saying? If my team says, quote unquote, if my team says this is what we're doing, I'll fight anybody. That is the air of a champion. That is the air of a person 31-0, 15 by knockout, right? Former undisputed lightweight champion of the world. First in history of the four-belt era, right? Former WBC junior welterweight champion of the world. Present WBO welterweight champion of the world. So look, when you get cats like Devin the Dream Haney hollering about I'll fight anybody versus the Shakur Stevenson that picks and chooses who he get in the ring with, man, I got some stuff this week to put up, man. It's gonna be, I mean, it's like, damn. Where you get that from? You know what I mean? Because I get sick and tired. Sick and tired. I'm gonna say that one time. I get sick and tired of hearing dudes talk about the game, the boxing game, and how great they are, right? What they do, jack, dilly squat, poo, to prove it. Now, I mean, if that's okay with y'all, okay, that's cool. But with me, it ain't okay, people. You know what I mean? The Shakur Stevenson are gonna get a lot of flack from me. This is the mission that I'm on today, right? Contrary to the fact that I got a lot of stuff that I could be doing in the name of boxing, right? I got an issue with the WBC about Jador Herrera, right? I need to be concentrating on that. I got to get back on that after I get off today and put some work in about that. About the I don't know what the hell is wrong with the WBC. I don't want to go there because I'm still working on that. But the WBC really gets itself into some squabbles with people of intellect, right? That otherwise. Obviously, it's okay to a lot of y'all, man, but it's not okay with me, right? The WBC was supposed to elevate Jadir, right, to full championship, right? Lightweight, excuse me, the WBC lightweight champion of the world. They were supposed to elevate Jadir. They didn't. And now they're talking about making a fight between, who was that? I'm gonna bring it. I'll bring that up when I get back with y'all on the Jador Herrera, because instead of them elevating Jador to lightweight champion of the world WBC, they announced a fight between two people to get Shakur Stevenson belt. They can't do that. The rules say they can't do that. But so why they doing it, I have no idea. But we're gonna get to the bottom of that. Trust me. Trust me on that. We're gonna get to the bottom of that, right? Now, so it's just a lot of moving parts when it comes to boxing that I associated myself when I took those 2 days off, right? That it's gonna be some bomb work. You know what I mean? It's gonna be some good information. You know, I mean, and again, with me, I try to do what's right by boxing, man. You know what I mean? I try to make people interested in boxing again, right? I'm not letting nothing slide when it comes to, especially the boxers. You know what I mean? I'm not letting nothing slide. So if you do something and you think you're doing it under the table, right? That ain't happening. It's a few of us that run these podcasts, right? That are relatively smart. BTFP is very smart, right? So I'm putting y'all on notice, all you promoters, trainers, manager, whoever, right? That you ain't gonna be right about boxing. Get the hell out the way. Get the hell out the way. Cause the boxing trainers gonna bust your ass out. That's what I'm talking about. Now, look, I got a few things to do on it. Be back on later today because I got some other interesting stuff that I want y'all to hear. Right. So, contrary to the fact that I'm, you know what I'm saying, getting a little up in age and I get kind of not tired, a little lazy, right? But I got to stop doing that because I got something to say. I got something to say when it comes to boxing because I love boxing. You know what I mean? So listen, that being said, I got to get my numbers up, man, because they was moving, but I kind of laid down and I understand that if you not being about it, you're going to be without it. You feel me? So, I'll be back on today. I ain't gonna say what time. You'll get a notice, right? But hit that subscription button. Hit the like button. Drop a comment in the comment section. And give me a yes or no whether Shakur Stevens is a great boxer. Can you do that? That being said, I'm